Exploration in music. So, the origin of music. Ancient Greece is known to be the origin of many forms of art, including music. Historians have traced a lot of evidence dating back almost to 6000 BCE. The Greeks were most famous for, obviously, their art, but there's still a lot of history today that can show how much artistic people and their contributions, how much they had an impact on the world. One of the most famous was Pythagoras. He was a mathematician who was most famous for originally math and science, but then he also created a school that taught subjects such as music as well, and he played an important role in starting some of the first music schools. The Greek monochord. So this is more into the Greek era. Another important figure who helped to show the importance of music was mathematicians like Lucid, who, like Pythagoras, used the pitch ratio method to help develop his most famous system of algorithms. So the piano, for example, which I happen to play, uses different forms of math to get the tones and synchronization that we have. As a whole, music in ancient Greek drew heavily on philosophy, mathematics, and astronomy. Math and music. Okay, so ratios in math are used to calculate relationships between different numbers or values. So like I said before, we can see those ratios kind of be interacted within some of the instruments that you can play. For example, piano is a great example. You can also see that, when you look directly to the left of a set of two black keys, this is known as a low C. The high C is set to the 12th note past the low C, and the high C has a 2-to-1 fundamental ratio to its low counterpart. So this pretty much means that there are twice as many vibrations in the high C than the low, which kind of gives it its higher pitch, but also its harmony. Okay, 1929, the electric organ. So not long after the introduction of the theremin, the Hammond Company developed the electronic organ in the year 1929. It was electrically powered, and it had keyboard notes, and this was eventually mass-produced in smaller variations. The first synthesizer was designed and created by Robert Moog in 1964. Dancing is an important part of music and culture. Yes, it is. The first recorded instances of people moving to rhythm and dance were around 7,000 BCE in India. Many people have studied the human brain and how it reacts to these beats created by music, and it comes to a surprise that civilizations were using music so far back to bring people together, to dance, for rituals, for ceremonies. It's quite incredible. Although music can be something completely separate from dance, they can also be brought together, and it can be used to determine the movements of performers and, like I said before, kind of enhance the feeling that one can get when with others. So it's pretty cool. Music and religion. So this is an important topic because many religions use music, and I think that music has always been closely related to religion, and even to this day it helps, I guess, get people closer with their following, which I would say is, you could put it as the intimacy music generates with its followers. So that's pretty cool. There is a connection between music and painting. The relationship between these two forms of art may be a little bit difficult for you to understand at first, but music is listened and heard, whereas painting is a physical form of art. They have formed a connection, and might be apparent at first glance. So you can kind of tell that sometimes music tells a story, right? A painting can tell a story. It depends on the artist, but they both did stem, obviously, from ancient Greece, and that's where the connection is most. Okay, and lastly, more history of music. Our early ancestors may have created rhythmic music by clapping their hands. This may sound very primitive, but it is linked to the earliest musical instruments, when somebody realized that smacking stones or sticks together doesn't hurt your hands as much, which makes complete sense because, this is how you get your first form of beat, right? If you listen to a song nowadays, it starts with a single beat. It's da da da. So this is where it all started, and it makes sense, and it kind of just grew from there. So anyways, that is it, the end. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.